Hi, I'm Jacque from JB Caravans Melbourne, and today I'm going to be taking you through a Gator X. Firstly, congratulations on actually purchasing one. So what we're going to do today is we're going to run you through some of the key features so you have a bit more knowledge before you come in and do your handover. We're going to start with the front of the van and wrap our way around before we head inside. So up front here, we've got your A-frame. So a couple key features here. You've got your DO35, which are a pin that we're going to supply you on the day, hook up to your car. All that is a simple red press of the button, and that's going to lock in. Right? You've got two 9-kilo gas bottles that come standard with the van. One of them's full, one's empty. Right? We give you two so they match and they look good. Gator X has some other key features like 7-pin plug at the front. Now you can opt for a 12-pin flat if that's your preference, but we'd recommend a 7-pin plug. You've got a red Anderson plug. Now what that's doing, that's powering your stability controller that's standard with the van. So when you plug this into your car, there's a little module just here that you want that to light up green. The way that works, there's a little box in the middle of your axle that has patterns from the road already put into it. So it recognizes sway, it recognizes when you're on a highway and you go past that truck, you get that gust of wind and it gives you that little bit of a tail whip. It will counteract that so you're safer on the road. Grey Anderson at the front here, it's also going to be powering your fridge and charging your batteries. So that's about those there. We've also got a point for your reverse camera. So the Gator X is standard with a dual reverse camera. We'll touch more on that when we go around the back there. Right, work light on the front with two big toolboxes on the side as well. So the toolboxes here have built-in slides already. So as simple as pressing these down and that pulls out here. The way we like to advertise it is barbecue on this side, generator on the other, as you have a gas bayonet just here as well. So plug and play as you go. Right, down into this area here, we have your tunnel boot. So this is fully gelled up the whole way through. That's good because it means it's not going to scratch your vinyl. Also helps with a bit of insulation as well. Right, a bottle jack standard with the van, tire lug, and this is that DO35 that I was talking about. As you can see here, that pin just there. So we'll sort that out on your car. A couple other things we have down here. We've got the legs for your van. So just here we have your legs. Now, simple pull of that, drop that down. Right, and we like to say, get a cordless drill, chuck that in here, and then you can raise your van up. So all four of those will help level your van. Right, the Gator X has also conveniently got the airbag suspension. So even the ground we're on just here was uneven. So we just dropped the left side and raised the right side. That way we got the van nice and level. So next to your tunnel boot, you've got your picnic table. So this just folds down. Now this is keyed. You want to make sure that you're locking it after every use. You don't want it to hit anything as you're traveling. You don't want it to fold down because you become illegal in width. So avoid doing that. Now this is rated to 25 kilos. So no more than that. I wouldn't try sitting on it. Don't press on it either. To release, just push these two up and that then shuts from there. On the side of the van, we've got two awning lights. As you can see, they're white. Now if I just flick a button here, they switch to orange. Now the whole idea there, orange isn't going to attract as many bugs when you're out in the bush. Moving forward, we've got a 10 amp outlet. Right, so this means that when you're plugged in to power at a site or at home, wherever you may be, if you have a generator, you don't actually have to run cables underneath. You can just plug a 10 amp outlet here, and this comes through your inverter. Just here, we have your entertainment hatch. So in here, we have a couple really key features. Your Airbag Controller is just here. You can also control your stereo. You can hang your TV from here. All of your cabling is already there. Plus, you've got a 240 power point. So the actual airbags at the moment, we've already leveled the van. But if we just press these buttons here, the compressor will kick in and you can see the van actually coming up. coming in from the entertainment hatch, you have your main door. Now this is a rear door. Sometimes if you order a front door, the door might be in front of the axle, but the door doesn't change. So what you've got here is a sort of crim safe material that you can actually divide up. So pulling this latch over and then pulling up the handle will actually divide your door, which we can then shut and lock. Now this door itself has a 4-point lock system, so it's pretty essential that all 4 points get past the latches, otherwise it won't lock. Same thing applies when you're actually putting it back in here. You've got 2 points that must click in, otherwise the door will not function properly. So if you ever get stuck there, just make sure that all points are where they're meant to be. So shutting that, as you turn your key to the left, the actual latch will disappear inside of the handle, and then turning it to the right, you know it's open from there. You can also latch this onto the side of the van to ensure that the wind doesn't get it. You've also got a blind here, so to block out the light. Right. Everything else you need. Now your step down here, this is a single manual step, so you just push it in like that, and that's simple as that. So pulling this out nice and easy, that locks in just like so. So here we are at the back of the van. Now unfortunately the jerry cans do not come with the van, they're just here for looks, but you do have 2 jerry can holders that come standard. You've also got a wood box and a 16-inch spare wheel. Now this is attached to a 3-arm bumper, right, which can carry that weight. Up here you've got your dual camera that I touched on earlier. Now the way that works, you have one camera pointed down at a 90-degree angle. Now you can see from the back of your spare, that's for when you're reversing and trying to park. The second camera is at a 120-degree angle, so that's more like having a rear view mirror as you're traveling. So with the kit that we actually provide you, which hopefully you've got installed before you pick it up, you can actually have that view of what's going on behind you as you're traveling home. Now you've also got a work light just here as well. Now underneath the van, we've actually got a couple key points as well. So there are 2 6-ton recovery points for if you get into a sticky situation and need help getting out. You've also got check plate covering under your grey water tank that's back here as well. Right, there's a light just here for where your license plate will be, and then obviously you've got your tail lights as well. All right, now to the driver's side of the van. Right, back here we've got a custom hatch. Now, with this open, it's fully galled up. Now, the whole reason it's galled up is it fits a Honda 2K Jenny in there, which is enough to run your aircon. Right, galled up so that diesel smell doesn't get into your van. Now, you can use this for any sort of storage. With the toolbox in the front, you can also fit a bigger generator as well. It's just a bit of external storage for you to have there. Underneath here, we have your instant hot water service. We're going to touch more on that on the inside, but this is where it actually comes from. Now, you can turn it off and off from here, off and on, sorry, but no point doing that. You might as well leave it, use it from the inside. Just here, you have your toilet cassette. Now, this van in particular has a Thetford toilet, but you might have a Dometic one. They both function the exact same way. What you want to do is click that open and pull that out from here. You can actually take your cassette out. Now, with your cassette, you've actually got a couple things here. What you want to do, unscrew this bit, hold the pressure to release that, and then you can empty it out. Now, you can always open this up, flush it out. These toilets require chemicals, right? So you can either buy that in a satchel form or you can actually get the bottle chemical, but you want to have at least 2 liters of water in there when you put that in for it to function properly. Right, there's also a specific toilet paper that will dissolve down into nothing, which we highly recommend, as this isn't the best job in the world. Now, putting this back in, a simple click, and that's all in place there. Another key point with the toilet, if the latch on the inside is open, the toilet will not come out. So don't try force it, just go back inside and shut that latch. Just here, we have your 15 amp inlet, right? So this is where your 240 comes from, either via a generator or, power at home or at a caravan park. And you've also got your fuse box. Now, it's pretty common for vans to trip when you plug them in. The whole reasoning we put this out here. So always check that once you've plugged it in. Otherwise, none of your 240 is going to work and you might be stuck wondering what's going on. Underneath here, we've got a couple other things. So your grey water outlet is just here as well. There's a blue handle on the actual outlet. That parallel with the pipe will allow the water to run out. Right? Otherwise, you want to shut that when you're in a national park because you're not allowed to dump that water. You've also got your water main inlet. So at a caravan park or at home, you can plug that in. That'll override your tanks and provide pressure to the rest of the van. Just here we have your external shower. Now this is hot and cold, so in order to use the hot or the hot component of the actual tap, gas bottle on, instant hot water will kick in, and then after a few seconds you'll have your hot water. There is a little mounting bracket which some people mount just here, so you can have showers outside if that's your preference, but really handy for when you're at the beach and you need to get that sand off your feet. Moving on from here, we've got your two 95 litre tanks. Now you've got a 95 litre grey water and two 95 litre tanks standard on the Gator X, and these are your water infill points. So what you want to do is you want to open this up, get a length of hose about 1.5 feet long and really get it down there. Now you want to trickle the water in, you don't want too much pressure, otherwise what happens is it goes into the tank and that pressure will go through the overflow. So that 95 litre tank, you might only have put say 45 litres in and you just assume it's full. As soon as you get to your campsite you realise you don't have any water, so you really want to take it easy when filling these up. Okay, so a couple other points with this side of the van. You've got a sail track that runs the whole length of the roof there. That's a benefit to you because you can then get a privacy screen and keep the sun directly off the side of the van. That's going to keep the van nice and cool, but it's also going to help your fridge run more efficiently. So the hotter that is, the harder it's got to try to cool down. So keeping that cool should be one of your #1 priorities when you're free camping. You've also got a couple other things. Another external light, right, which is on the same plug as the rest of them, which we'll show you when we get on the inside. And you have an Explorer plug. So this little plug just here, right, simple as it may be, this will allow you to plug in a satellite dish or something like that. So if you're at a caravan park, for example, and they have satellite TV, you can plug that straight in there. Saves you running cables through your windows, drilling holes, going through your door, anything like that. It's more future-proofing your van. So your tunnel boot that goes all the way through, right, fully gouted like I said, but you've also got a 12-volt light on this side. So that gives you a bit of light for when you're packing down at night, but also when you're trying to set up at night. Just here, your generator hatch, as we like to say. So just like the other side, they're identical boxes. You've got a slide out here. So nice and easy to get your Jenny off. You can run it 10-15 meters away so it's not as noisy for you, and then run that back into the 15 amp outlet. Otherwise, it's a really good spot to put a fridge. If you have a 40 litre Waco, we can always put a 12-volt plug in there for you. That way you've always got power. So with that there, we've pretty much wrapped up the actual outside of your van. We're going to move on to the inside, but we really hope that you enjoyed this little run through of the actual Gator X, and we wish you the best when you pick it up.